Well, hey, friends. How are you guys? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday already. And here I am live, and Melvin's right by the ring light as he assumes his position. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's Tuesday. My day got started off by fasting, and so I'm still drinking my coffee for the day. It's all good. It's all good. I just feel like I've got a slow start of the day. Do you ever feel like that? Let me share this into the Bling Boutique before I get too much into this. Um, there we are. Okay. Do you ever feel like that? Like you have a routine every morning, and then even if the routine is delayed by a couple hours, all of a sudden you just feel like you got a real slow start of the day. Hey, Callie, thanks for hopping on the YouTube. I appreciate that. I just that's what I felt like today. I had to get a blood draw. Nothing's wrong or anything like that. Just like a general like blood panel thing done. So I had to fast. And so I'm drinking my last cup of Joe. And yes, it is noon in Minnesota, but that's okay. That's all right, my friends. It's Tuesday. We had Memorial Day weekend. So I missed you guys, and I did not go live on Friday, didn't go live yesterday. I hope you had an absolutely wonderful day and weekend. Hey Linda, what are your highlights? Drop it in the comment section, like a couple of short words of what the highlight was for your Memorial weekend. I would love to know. Yeah, let's see. Oh my goodness. Ours was just, we went down we to our camper. Oh, that was a lot of work just to get it up and running and everything put in there and finding its place after you clean everything out first. Is that super important? And yeah, it was just kind of crazy. But it was good. It was it was good. It was time with my kids. Time we were able to get the boat out for our first boat run of the season, which was always good. And my husband got to sky ski, so he was super excited. And that's like it's just nice because it's like, oh, the summer is here. The start of summer is here for us. Even though my kids still have like a week left of school. So, all right, my friends, here we go. A few things before we get rolling in to talk about our Tuesday questions. I did notice that the bear earrings are still available on the website. So, if you guys weren't sure about these ones, they are still a deal of the day. And let me flip over to um my checkout screen. They are still a deal of the day, and they're available for $24. So when you add something to your cart, go view your cart, and at the top there, you're gonna see, sorry, my ring light. I think I'm gonna get a different ring light so it's not a ring. It's just a light. So the top of the screen, you're gonna see a few things that are like top deals of the day that are still available. So first and foremost, the first thing that shows up is the strawberry necklace. It's called shortcake. Who owned a strawberry shortcake when they were a kid? I sure did. Did that just date me? I don't know. Maybe it did or didn't. But this one's still available on the checkout screen for 22, as well as these bear earrings. These are kind of the perfect size, you guys. Look how these are. They're super cute. They are like indented, if you will. Have a little bit of like a cushion. I don't know if there's a proper term to that. Putting my finger behind it so you guys can see that. But a little bit of a texture design between those little bumps, I guess. And they are that big. So they are not too big and they're not too small. And if even that, like, I like how they're a little prominent because when it comes to a smaller hoop, um, I love my Twizzler earrings because they're extremely dainty, but they're long. So if I'm gonna wear a smaller size hoop, I want it to be seen. I don't want it to be like Twizzler thin. You know what I'm saying? So these are super cute. They're available at checkout, and you guys, these are vintage on our Park Lane website. So they're super fun, and they're like the perfect size, you guys, for those of you that like a smaller size hoop, with um, some character, right? That's the word I was trying to find. some characters. So these are called the Bear Hoops, and they're still sitting there on the website. So check those out. Another thing we have to do before, where's my checklist? There it is. Before we get too much into the questions of the day is we have to do a comment drawing. And my smart speaker chose Tuesday of last week. And I got a comment on here. Can I read it? You want to call them like, oh, okay. Ooh, did I just, I don't know what I pushed. Okay, all right. Yes, like on a tire. Kind of like that, like treads. I get that. I totally can see that, Jan. Let's do comment drawing. She chose Tuesday of last week. So I went to Tuesday's live. I looked at the YouTube and I looked at the Facebook page and saw everybody that commented. Your name's on the list. So let's see what number she chooses. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 12.
Here's a number between 1 and 12. It's 11.
11? That's Miss Callie. Congratulations, Callie. You're the winner of this week's comment drawing. Yay! I get to mail you a random sparkle. Something in the mail. Yeah, words are hard today. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. It's all because I had to fast overnight, you guys. I think that's it. I'm a little off today. My last cup of Joe. Yes. Oh, yes, your lucky number 2. You are 11 on the list, and so you're the winner. Winner, turkey dinner. All right, friends, let's get to our comments, our questions on Talk About It Tuesday. And I'm live early today because we have some people showing up at our door. So I didn't want to, wanted to get the live done, so I'm not bothering them too much. So, okay, you guys, here we go. Here we go. Talk About It Tuesday. Jessica wants to know, when I do sales like this past one, how do you decide on what items to list? Here's the I'm in full transparency, you guys. The Memorial Day sale was built from our graphics person on our Mary Grace organization. So she chose everything and she did all the things. She did all the graphics except for a few of the graphics that I personalized. Otherwise, they did it all. I just posted it. So, full transparency. A lot of times I do my own graphics, like when I do obviously my stash sale, things like that. That's all me. But when it comes to a script like that, typically that's built from our graphics person. So you guys, I always like to point that out, full transparency, because like that's a perk that our team has that maybe some other Parkland teams don't have, is they don't have a designated graphics person. Mary Grace pays our graphics person very well. And so she creates such great content for us to use, and she'll run like just create sales like that for us to use at our own will. So anywho's, yeah, I didn't decide, bottom line. She did. So how great is that? Okay. Cindy wants to know, you said be nosy. So how much is it going to cost for each of our kids to go on a trip to Cancun? That's a great question. And every buy-in for every destination is different. And I don't know what the number is going to be for this one yet. I'll know when it gets closer to the time. So I was just, I did glance at that question before I went live, and I looked up what Zurich's buy-in is. Now, okay, let's be honest. Zurich, Cancun, Mexico. So Zurich and Cancun, Mexico. So like, there's a huge price difference in those travel destinations. Am I correct? Yeah. Yes. Zurich's going to naturally be higher in price than Cancun, Mexico is, right? So the higher buy-in is for Zurich. Higher buy-in was for Dublin, and Paris was definitely a higher buy-in for those destinations. Whereas Cancun, Mexico is not going to be as high of a buy-in. And that's actually something that the owners told me too, when I was saying, like, I think I want to bring all 3 of my kids. And they're like, well, definitely the buy-in's not going to be as much as, those other destinations. So, but in reality, it's probably going to cost around $2,000 per kid to buy in. So, and I think airfare is separate from that, but I'm not quite sure. regardless, it doesn't matter. Really, like I was talking to Mary Grace about this. Yes, it's going to cost us some money to get our kids to Cancun, unless you guys, my name gets drawn for the free trip. Uh, and if I win the free trip from the company, they ran that incentive was it last week already? If they draw my name, then that's going to go towards my kids, right? Because Craig and I are already free. So crossing my fingers, saying prayers to the God above, like, hey, call my name for that free trip. That way, knocks it off. If it doesn't, who cares? Because honestly, I forget the words Mary Grace used one time, but it's basically like memories over cost. Like Craig and I are going to make it work regardless because um, the the memories that we are going to be able to create, the lifetime memories, and that quality time with our children for that trip and everything is going to be like so incredibly worth it. So incredibly worth it. So I would imagine it's probably going to be about 2 grand a kid, but I don't know that exact number yet. So, anywho's, yeah. And then my the jewelry money is just going to go towards the kids right now. That's that, and that's okay. That's all right. Doing it for the family. That's what I love to do. Um, do you still okay, Cindy has the second question. Do you still have some of the retired pieces from past collections that you sell at your vendor events? I sure do. I sure do. And yeah, so sometimes I do have a retired last chance items at my vendor events. And Linda wants to know, how far in advance do I receive new pieces to photograph before they launch? That's that's a great question. And Nancy also wants to know that. um, that's a great question. Sometimes, I'm being honest, sometimes I receive them the day before, the day before they launch. Like I get a heads up, like, hey, the box is arriving today. I need those pictures by this afternoon because something is launching the next day. Sometimes that's what happens. And sometimes I have a little bit more of a notice. It all depends on what's happening at the home office. And like that's sometimes I get them a week before, sometimes I get them 5 days before, sometimes I get them 2 weeks before. It really depends. And sometimes I just get some things that they're like, eventually it's going to drop. So we just get the content ready to go. So, yeah, sometimes I just don't really know. Um, and Tanya asks, by the way, I'm going to read my last Talk About It Tuesday question, but if you're live with me right now and you have a question for me about Park Lane business or how I run my business on with Park Lane and all of the things, drop it in the comment section. If you do it live, I'll try to answer it live. If you do it after the fact, I'll try to answer your question tomorrow. Since I did kind of spring this live on you guys, I didn't realize I was going to have to go live so early today. So thank you if you're live with me. I appreciate you guys. All right. Tanya wants to know, is there an age requirement to become a stylist? Didn't know if you could be 18 and be a stylist. It is 18 to be a stylist with Park Lane Jewelry. So, and the beautiful thing about that is, actually one of the stylists that is now, is lateral to me. She started working in direct sales when she was 18 and she's always stuck with it. It's always been a great supplemental income for her in what she does. And so, yeah, we do have some stylists that start at 18. And it's great, especially in this day and age, you guys, in this day and age, to have that younger generation starting off as being stylists with all the social media that we do, all of the different tech things that they're so keen on, and we're always learning, right? That always learning from them all the better ways to reach people, and they know the tech talk with the algorithms and things like that. They could really thrive in an environment like this. And the glorious thing about it all is that it's a solid business to join. Like we're solid. We're not going anywhere. We have 70 years of business underneath our belt. We're the strongest we've ever been. We're completely debt free. We're cash rich. And like whatever's happening in the world as far as like, you know, there's been lots of ebbs and flows in this industry, and direct sales isn't necessarily going away. And we're completely strong in that. So, all right, with that said, I got to run. I'll see you guys next time, and tomorrow for Wednesday. All right, see you later. My company's here. Bye.